was speculating for a long time that Luffy is gonna get a new power up and what it will be. We knew during the Doflamingo fight that Gear 4 isn't enough to go head on head with Yonko, and so we knew that Oda has something up his sleeve for a fight against Yonko. We all started speculating what power up it will be. Will it be a different form of Gear 4th or he will activate Gear 5th? Now I get why people were waiting for Gear 5th. But a different form of Gear 4th doesn't make any sense, and I'll tell you why. We see that he was having a hard time during the fight against Cracker in the regular Gear 4th, and it was certainly not that Tankman one-shot Cracker. It was after such a long fight, both of them were exhausted, and not to mention the help from Nami, King Bomb, and everyone else. When if we do consider that there is more powerful form than Tankman, he can take the most strongest Yonko commander at par, but not a Yonko. Now many people will be disappointed that Luffy didn't get Gear 5th. Rather, we see that Luffy's observation Haki is getting stronger. He is somewhat able to see the future, just like Katakuri. And this shouldn't be a bummer to us, as we sort of saw Oda hinting this at us. Now what's my say on the Haki upgrade? I really do like that Oda is upping Luffy's Haki game, cause Luffy already has King's Haki, which is very rare. It isn't as common as Conqueror's Haki. By the way, Conqueror Haki isn't that common as well. And now with this whole new level of Observation Haki, Luffy's Haki game will be pretty strong. Also in the new world, we see that having strong Haki is much more important than that of Devil Fruit, no matter how overpowering your Devil Fruit power is. The prime example of these are Magellan of Impel Down and Caesar Claw. Now the question is that the Observation Haki upgrade enough to beat Big Mom or any other Yonko for that matter. I don't probably think it is enough to beat them. At the current moment, he can beat the Big Mom, or at least he will give her a hard time because she hasn't eaten for a long time and is getting pretty weak, as we see in the last couple of manga chapters. But is the case going to be the same after she eats the cake? I certainly don't think so. I think there sure is going to be another power up, and we are going to see that Luffy is going to fight Big Mom. Also, Oda might have foreshadowed it in the manga chapter 891's title, Believing in Me. Many of us might have thought that it's not foreshadowing, but the chapter title is because of the Observation Haki upgrade. But I like to deny it, so that if Luffy is gonna get the power up, what is it going to be? Is it going to be the Gear 5th? That can happen, but I really want it badly to be Devil Fruit Awakening. And Oda should implement that in the fight against Katakuri, which is going on for long enough, and now it's getting pretty lame to keep them fighting. We have seen fights going on long with the Doflamingo and Cracker. Fight was actually that long, but with the Katakuri, it seems that he is stretching it for no reason, as said by the Rogers Grace. By the way, he is a fellow One Piece YouTuber. In his review, he said that they are stretching it out for the sake of reaching the chapter 900. And so I think it will be a good time for Oda to awaken Luffy's Devil Fruit and put an end to the Luffy vs Katakuri fight, because we can see that Sanji is very close to getting the cake to the Big Mom. And what after she eats the cake? Is she gonna leave them? Will she let Sanji flee? Probably not. The fight's going to continue. Rather, I think that Big Mom will plan to have Sanji hostage because of Sanji's cooking skills. We have seen that before with the brook. Once Big Mom liked something, she wanted to keep it with her. And so I think that Capon's witch plan to inject the cake with poison or explosives was right. Nonetheless, Oda has decided not to do that, so he might have something different in mind. Now coming back to the chapter 891, we got introduced to 33rd daughter of Charlotte family, Charlotte Flambe, and it appears that she has some sort of gum devil fruit. But that's not the reason I mentioned her. In her intro, she specifically mentioned that she is 15 years old, and to be honest, it blew my mind. Here's why. If she is 33rd daughter of Charlotte family and is 15 years old, she is or she should be older than the 35th daughter of Charlotte family, that is Pudding. So does that mean Pudding is a child? Is she below 15 years of age? And if that's so, why did Oda do that? In Japan, the age restriction for a guy is 18 and for a girl is 16, but Pudding isn't even 15 years of age. So that's basically child marriage. I thought that maybe Flambe was born on the 29th February, that is the leap day, or we can also call it leap year day. But that's not the case either. because if her birthday comes every 4 years and it wouldn't have been a leap year, she would have been as old as Big Mom and cannot really be the 33rd daughter. Then I thought that she might have the devil fruit power of being half her age, but it seems unlikely, as we all know, because we can see that she has some sort of bubblegum power, and this has to be a mistake for sure. Pudding doesn't really look underage. Actually, she looks older than Flambe. After watching Joybo's video, he is also a fellow One Piece YouTuber. Oda making a mistake made a lot more sense, because Oda has done this before. He had made two characters for the 29th daughter, and he had to make changes in one of the characters, and she became older than Lola and Chiffon. So I think that Oda is going to make changes here as well. He is either going to make Flambe the 37th or the 38th daughter of Charlotte family, or Pudding will be put up the order and became older. So I think it was a good chapter, and the chapter's title is being foreshadowed that Luffy is going to get another power up. What's your thought? Do you agree with me? If you do, please leave a like. If your opinions differ, please mention them in the comment below. Also, subscribe to the channel. This is Pratham from 2 Indian Nerd.